I mean, I think this is a great move. It's all about safety, isn't it? And dignity, you know, for women, whether that's women's toilets or women's sports or women's prisons. The interesting statistic is that 40% of transgender women who are in prison for sexual offences, whereas actually only 17% of men in prison are in prison for sexual offences. So that's quite a stark statistic. And again, only 2% of women are in prison for sexual offences. So 98% of sexual offences are actually, you know, perpetrated by men. Yeah. And it's about enabling vulnerable women to feel safe, even in prison where they are serving, you know, their time for whatever crime they committed.
Absolutely right. I mean, it's extraordinary that somebody that's a biological male identifying as female can be enclosed 24/7 with sometimes vulnerable inmates. And in America, 2 of them impregnated.
Yeah, I mean, this comes back to biology, you know, it comes back to size. You know, that's why a lot of women feel so very vulnerable. That's why women traditionally will walk on the side where all the lights are and they don't work late at night. I mean, my daughter is 24. She works in London. She carries her phone with her in her hand when she's walking during the night, and she lets me know where she is, where she starts and when she gets home. This is something that women do all the time. You know, at the moment, 2 to 3 women every week in this country are murdered. I mean, that is a just extraordinary statistic. And I never understand how that isn't talked about every single day. And women do feel vulnerable. And this is why, you know, in sport, it's all about size and strength and your physical ability, which comes with biological sex. And I feel we are beginning to turn a corner a little bit. I think people are beginning to realise that the emperor does not have any clothes on.
Definitely not. How could it be that a notorious paedophile, originally called John Dixon, who now identifies as Sally Ann Dixon, but committed those crimes as a man, how on earth does someone like that wind up in a woman's prison, harassing inmates and starting a relationship with one of them? We really have been drinking the woke Kool-Aid, haven't we?
Well, it's also just, it just seems crazy, doesn't it, that someone can identify, after they've committed a crime, when they identify as a man and they are male, and, you know, no one can change from being male to female. You will be male for the rest of your life. If you have male chromosomes, it's in your DNA, it will always be in your DNA, no matter what you do. So to be identified as a woman, to be put into a woman's prison, is just so, it seems so offensive, when before they were actually arrested, they were quite happy to be a man. So to me, that's crazy. And I'm just glad that we are shining the light on things like this at last. You know, gender dysphoria, proper gender dysphoria is horrendous. And anybody would have empathy with anyone that struggles with that. And we need to be respectful, and everybody, no matter how you identify, needs to be safe and secure and deserving of respect. However, these people who are using the system and using loopholes are not. You know, they should not be treated with the same kind of respect. We should be very careful. We know that in life, unfortunately, humans by human nature take advantage of loopholes, and that's what's going on.
Someone with a willy goes into a women's prison. What could possibly go wrong?
As you said already, you know, rape, they've committed rape, they will commit rape again. And as you mentioned, you know, the impregnation, and that should never be happening. And there's no reason why we can't have decent debates about creating you know, wings. Why can't we have a wing for transgender criminals? I don't understand why we have to turn around and say it has to be one or the other. There are ways, there are solutions that we can come to by just having decent debates about it.